So last time we leveled up twice. I promised you one level up, and then you also got a level up from getting cozy points. So
yeah, we're all totally prepared for that.
Yeah, everyone leveled up 2 times. Leveling up in the system, there's a list of things you can choose. You choose one of them. It might be a new ability, it might be an ability increase. So I want everyone to choose one of the things they chose and tell our lovely audience what you chose, maybe why your vibes, or just be like, I chose this, and no details. And you know what? I don't feel like being a teacher. Someone go, be wild. Don't all answer at once.
Let's all answer at once.
Count of 3.
Absolutely.
And then they continue to not. Thank you, Hannah.
I'll be the brave one. Yeah, one of the things I took for level up was a new rune. Since Owen is a rune knight, I took the rune of healing, which of course comes with its own unique tattoo, which we may or may not see.
Interesting. There might be some healing needed today, physically or mentally. We will see. I'm gonna call on someone.
I'm not gonna go immediately next, but because we may have hinted that someone was unprepared, and that someone may have been me, but that's hearsay. So I'm actually going to ask the chat, first one to chime in on whether I should take Flower Blossom Bloom or Vine Whip, with no further explanation. They're spells. Crowdsourcing the homework I didn't do.
Mods, can we do a poll?
Yeah, I was gonna say that feels so difficult to choose. I love them both.
Can we start a poll?
All right, I think well, I guess it could be a poll, or it'll be a poll if more people vote by the time everyone else is gone. Otherwise, okay, cool.
All right, then I'm gonna throw it over to Alice. What did you choose for our good buddy Gidget?
Gidget's getting an attribute increase because I could not roll a single lore check last time without a lot of help.
And maybe spending some spoons. Okay. Unexpected, honestly.
I know.
That's gonna mean then.
And I was gonna say Yep, that would be me. I actually chose Shadow Step. Gonna see if I can be a little stealthier.
And a little spookier. A little more goth.
And a little spookier. Yeah.
Alright, well, the chat has it for Flower Blossom Bloom is the spell that I am taking. A little something to cause a little havoc, but also help my friends mentally or physically regain a little spoonage. Thanks, chat.
All right. So, I don't know about you all, but it's been, like, cold. Like, I've actually had to wear sleeves when I go outside because it's literally been under 0 degrees here. And you know what else is very, very cold? Our little village of Everflame. Without the Everflame to keep it nice and toasty, it actually is facing winter this year. Last week, our little crew at the bed and breakfast had their first exposure to winter on the very first day. And so we are going to pick up a bit after you guys fought and then befriended a giant snake flower monster. You also befriended the spirit of the Everflame, who is now living in your bed and breakfast. And so yeah, you guys, I'm gonna say it's maybe been about a week or so what have you been up to?
For one,
Well, I mean, I
just
had some flowers to dry. And some flowers to then send to my sister.
You did. Did you use the berry poster service that we discovered last week?
Absolutely. Speed was of the essence.
love can't wait. So one thing that I think that I did was perhaps with Alice, I don't know, sorry, Alice, Gidget, you're just so similar in vibe. Especially when you're wearing the costume. Spend some time with Gidget probably in the barn, trying to get her to convey my wishes to draw the snake, draw our new friend, and the Everflame, for my little book that I'm putting together. So I've done little drawings of the snake and the Everflame, and put some information about them in my monster compendium / picture book to be.
I mean, Gidget can't speak snake. I feel like that was the big language barrier from last time. But
All just kind of assumes that you have a connection.
I think the connection is that after Gidget made sure that the snake had kind of rested up from its injuries, that Gidget goes out and just kind of like they just kind of like wrestle around.
I love that.
And I think if the snake stayed still to be drawn, it was because Gidget probably had them in like a headlock or something and was petting them the entire time.
I love that. Thank you for your assistance in that matter. But I might have also been spending some time in the walls, kind of working on some personal projects, getting crafty. And if it's possible, if we could take some of those flowers back, the alpine
Forget-me-nots.
yeah, alpine
Forget-me-nots.
Thank you. The forget-me-nots that I just forgot. Yep. That's where we are. If we could have maybe repotted some of those and put them in our garden, that'd be.
So that's a question. So I have an answer, but first a question. How are you keeping the garden warm and stuff during the winter?
With fire.
I'm gonna say that sounds like Ash is going to roll me a alchemy check. Basically, this is going to be maybe equivalent to something similar to a ritual. It won't count against your limits of rituals for the day, because this is like something you did over the course of some downtime. But yeah, you're gonna give me a target number. I'm gonna say, oof. I'm gonna say it's a target number 5 alchemy check, because this is winter and you're trying to keep a garden alive.
I perhaps be of assistance in this matter of perhaps making some like glass like lenses to diffuse the flames and like make it into a little bit of a sun lamp. Just get a little crafty with my.
We do have a sunroom.
That's true. Yeah, so if I can take the inspiration of like refractory glass to try to like make build some kind of housing for the flame and refract it a little bit over our garden.
Yeah, that was, so if you want to help out, that would be a target number 2 lore check.
Okay, let's do it. Well, that's 1 6, a 2, a 4, and a 6. A 6, a 2, a 4, and a 6. So I'd say I helped.
You would definitely help. I'm gonna say Ash, make me that target number 5 alchemy check with 1 bonus dice.
That is a 5, a 5, a 4, and a 2.
Spin the spoon and you can have a garden through the winter.
I will spend that spoon.
Spoon well spent.
Very well spent. And I didn't burn our garden down, so we're winning.
You didn't even get close to burning the garden down. Now, Adwal, you said you were going to plant some flowers then?
Yeah, just add, maybe not in the part that's heated up since they're more cold weather flowers, but if we could, so that we're taking something back from our adventure in the woods and bringing some alpine forget-me-nots to the B&B.
All right, then that's gonna make, I'm going to say that's a target number 4 lore check, and this is going to be counting as getting cozy points for using monster resources to cozy up the cottage.
Cool. Well, I got 2 successes.
Do you spin the spoon?
Of course I spend the spoon. I am ready for spoon spending. But since I'm playing the chaos game of how many spoons do I have, can I roll my d6 to see how many above 6 I have?
Oh, please.
See if I do better than last time. I think that was better than last time because last time was quite bad. I got a 3, so that's 9 spoons to start with. So now I'll be down to 8.
Okay, you know what? That's okay. That is.
Yeah. I've got to embrace the chaos.
I mean, we are all for that here. All right. How about Aluin? What have you been up to?
Owen has been up to a few things. Working to make the B&B a little cozier, because this is not normally a cold weather place, so it's not built for the cold as well as it could be. So adding touches inside that'll make it a little cozier, a little warmer, making sure the fire stays going. But she's also being out adventuring, and small adventure with this group has made her a bit nostalgic. And she has decided to add a couple more tattoos. One of them she did herself, was on her arm, fairly easy for her to reach. She spent the day doing. The other, I realize, is on her back, and she can't do it herself, so she would have had to find a magical tattoo artist who could help her.
All right, we might get back to that later. We will see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about Gidget? Besides playing with the little serpent snake you've befriended and taking care of all the pets and stuff, what has Gidget been up to this week or so?
Gidget has been up to trying to stay warm. I don't think that their onesie has like gone back to like non-winter mode, so they're just constantly walking around looking like a puffball. And I'm gonna say they've spent a lot of time in front of the fireplace and talking to the spirit of the Everflame. And after they found a little thing in the barn one morning, they've probably spent even more time next to the fire. Specifically with this little like lump around their neck. It's stretched out. It probably looks like Gidget stole one of the forget-me-not flowers at first, but it looks like a little bud that's just kind of like wrapped around their neck like one of those little travel pillows. Except every so often the like buds kind of like there's like this little snoring sound, and they like expand like just a little bit, and like a little tiny snake head pokes out, and like you see that little like tongue flicker before it like goes right back into like the little flower bud, and just kind of like stays around Gidget's neck. This would be Mimi, the new baby alpine forget-me-not snake.
I'm absolutely in love.
Yeah. Gidget found her in the barn one morning and figures that either it's the big snake's little sibling or the big snake is a parent. Either way, I think they kind of like duckling imprinted on one another.
Hmm.
So it's been just a constant trying both to stay warm.
That's so cute.
Literally amazing. All right, amazing. So it has been about a week of winter. The snow has not let up. It hasn't been snowing as badly, but it's not much of it is melting. There's still maybe about 3 to 4 feet of snow on the ground at all times. It is a frosty little village we have here.
Perfect for playing in the snow.
Perfect for staying indoors.
Did someone say perfect for playing in the snow?
Yeah.
Hey, oddball.
Am I getting an impulse coming on?
Yeah, so the snow looks really fluffy, and also like maybe there's some scientific inquiry you can do of how warm, how like much can your fur, can your little fluff, because you're just a fluffy little guy, how much can it keep you warm and toasty?
All right, that sounds like I need to jump into the snow and try burrowing and see if I can make myself a little snow tunnel in the backyard, and maybe even for Mimi to play in.
You know, I think that is I think that sounds, yeah. You do that, maybe you regain 4 spoons.
Excellent. I'll put little. Get little sensors to check my internal body temperature just to like fit the scientific inquiry part of it. I don't know if I have those. Maybe it's just a vibes thing, but I'll take notes anyway once I'm back in with a cup of hot cocoa.
Now, you specifically said bearing, and also, and you're going to be doing cold, so I'm going to have you do 2 checks. One of them is going to be a muscle check for, digging through the snow. The other, I'm leaving it up to you. It is going to be a check for resisting the fact that you're going in the cold. You can either you make a muscle check or a lore check to basically mentally grit it out and no, maybe your better senses of you should go inside because it's cold. I know you're better in one of those, but I really just want you to tell me the vibes of Oddball.
God. I mean, on some level, it could just be the power of curiosity overriding my cold receptors of just like, right now, all that matters is to see if I can do this, to see what I can figure out, to see how far I can get into this burrowing, and then suddenly I will realize that I am freezing and scamper inside and shiver in front of the fire. So
Yeah,
not so much mental fortitude, but just pure curiosity overriding senses.
I love that so much. In fact, so you're going to make me a target number 2 muscle check because it's no, it's not that heavy, and you are very tenacious. So so I have faith in you there. And then I'm going to make a target number 3 lower check. Take a bonus dice on that check.
Awesome. Thank you. Ooh, okay, so muscle, I got 1 success, so I will spend a spoon to get through, to muscle through, as it were. And for lore, that is 3 successes on lore.
Okay, yeah. You dig. It's cold, but like this is science you are doing. You are discovering. You are making discoveries and theories. You don't know what they are yet, but one day you'll figure out what you're discovering right now. And
Sir
then
Butter's Snufflewump is just like being the snow shovel behind me, getting the snow that I kick out from behind me and putting it in a big heap in the backyard.
oh, he is such a good boy.
He's such a good boy.
So you're dig. Thud, bump. You found something.
Can I see what it is? Just, like,
So
try to smooth out.
it's buried under snow, and you're digging, and you just hit something. You feel it. Do you pull it out?
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give myself a little better eyes on the situation by casting fairy lanterns and casting my D6 fairy lanterns to swirl around my head. My 2 fairy lanterns to swirl around my head.
Roll me a d6, because I'm not actually sure what you found yet.
Oh, that's exciting. I got a 5.
Okay, I was gonna say good rolls were something good. Lower rolls was gonna be a monster.
And probably either would be fun.
Uh, so you pull it out.
True.
You definitely found something. It might even be valuable. You have no idea what it is, but it looks like it might possibly be interesting. After you thaw out of the giant cube of ice and maybe clean up some of the rust, it's basically there's like a handle that's a bit rusty, and then the rest is a giant ice cube, and you cannot see through it.
Ooh. Well, I lick it just in case. And then scrape it.
I'm sorry. Do you say you lick it?
Yeah,
I have it.
obviously.
You lick it, and then you don't stop licking it. Your tongue is stuck to the giant ice cube.
La, la. I guess I had this coming. Cerberus, can I get some help?
He like walks up and then makes a circle around and start clapping towards the cottage.
Okay, I'll follow with this thing attached to my tongue. I can melt it off by the fire.
So first you hear kind of the rest of you hear some low knocking, low not like in volume or tone. Low like it's knocking, but like it's coming from more of the floor than like human size knocking. And then you hear the door of the cottage opening up. As Sir Butters headbutts the door open.
Help. I got something stuck to my tongue.
Let's come sit by the fire. That's all we can do.
Thanks, Ellen.
I will,
She seems extremely pleased with herself, regardless of the fact that, like, I found something cool.
yeah, Elwyn will, soak a kind of rag in water and then heat it up and use that to kind of gently defrost Oddball's tongue. Just very slowly doing it so that no skin is ripped off.
She's not helping very much by kind of trying to tell the story of her discovery while her tongue is still connected to this ice block.
Mhm,
Nonsensically.
That doesn't mean you need to lick it. Just no, stay still.
Does not compute.
I know it's a hard lesson to learn, but not everything outside that's made of ice is a popsicle. I'm gonna say Gidget has like looked away from what they've been doing at the moment to say this. Is they've pulled up like these pile of pillows next to the fire and they have been talking with the Everflame.
Okay, we will get back to that then. Amazing. And eventually, the ice cube does come unstuck, but
Illustrations of Elwyn are manager / mom.
It looks like Elwyn has had to do this before multiple times. It's unclear when, but it looks like she has.
Not all to Oddball.
It's a few times for Oddball so far. I haven't been here that long.
Oddball, do you lick everything you find?
Kinda most things. I couldn't say with certainty that it's everything, but it does seem like the thing to do.
Is that scientific?
Sometimes. It does often provide data, like in this case, that my tongue would stick to it. That's something I didn't know it would do before.
You learned something new today.
And it found something new. By
And
burrowing in the snow.
And whatever it is means that it can be
Oh.
stuck to your tongue.
Also, there's...
Wait, this was just in the art?
Yes, underneath the snow. Also, now there's a burrow for Mimi if she wants to play in a burrow of snow.
This plot of land is pretty old. The bed and breakfast isn't the first thing that was here. It's not surprising if there are other things on the property.
But it is.
We'll need to thaw it out carefully, though, because we don't know if it's flammable.
Didn't
Oh,
think
I
of
should
that.
stay away from it.
I'll work on it.
If it fits, we'll put it in a bucket so it doesn't get water all over the floor as it thaws out. Because I don't want to mop it.
amazing. Gidget. So you were talking with the Everflame then?
Yes. Before Audie came back in, the Everflame's still kind of been down about her girlfriend. So Gidget was asking her to please tell all about how she met her girlfriend the first time. And Gidget had like pulled out like a fondue set, and that's what they were doing next to the fire.
So there's been some progressions there. The Everflame maybe just to accommodate to the surroundings. that morning, the Everflame walked out with a humanoidish body, just like long, flowing red fire hair, like pale, but like also red, skin, like the tone and tint to fire, and then the big, comfy red sweater.
Oh.
White, very fluffy wool, possibly not flammable because it hasn't caught on fire yet, and then long pajama pants with hearts on them. So you say this is fun?
Fondue. It is melted cheese, and all these little things around it are stuff you can dip it in. I like the little pickles, oddly enough. But there's also bread and little meats, and oddly enough, little cheese blocks to dip into the cheese. And I just kind of keep poking around at different things Gidget has like set up and brought through.
Thank you. So you asked me a question. Sorry, I was very distracted by this magical melty stuff.
Yeah, Audie does bring in all of this weird stuff sometimes. I don't know. Is this the first time you've actually had something stuck to your tongue, or?
I'm gonna go with a no on that.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. She likes to lick stuff. So sometimes we just bring stuff back inside in a really creative way and get like hands over one of the little fondue spheres to Audie. Like let her get in on the action with everyone else.
Oh.
But yeah, you were telling me about your girlfriend, which I know you miss her, but at the same time, how did you guys meet? It must have been a really, really cute little story.
Have you ever just met someone and been totally enamored with them?
I mean, Roy was like the cutest little porcelain piglet in his china shop, and he's my best friend, so I really love him. And I mean, Mimi's new, but Mimi's really special too. And like the obvious answer is not like in the romantic love sort of sense whatsoever.
Okay, good, because it was nothing like that. I hated her. She was just so hot-headed and arrogant, and the most annoying thing, we just were meeting up as, primal elementals in the forming plane of existence, and she was just so know-it-all, and the most annoying thing was she was right about everything. And then her eyes kind of go flame up into their hearts, and we started I would butt heads and then start arguing, but then sometimes I would just pretend to disagree with her to have an excuse to talk with her, and then I would stop the actually pretending to argue and just talk.
It sounds like you guys had a really special connection, and you still do. Have you tried sending her a letter yet?
Like smoke signals?
If that's how you do it, then yes.
Yes, I've done that.
And what has she had to say?
I think she might be too far away to see the smoke.
Okay, maybe we send her an actual letter.
How do you do that?
You put your words down on paper and send them to wherever she is at. Alwyn can help you with that better than I can. I have really bad handwriting.
I probably have really bad handwriting too, on account of I've never tried that before.
Alwyn, you want to help the Everflame write a letter? You have really pretty handwriting, so it'll look really pretty.
You are far too kind. Yeah, let me finish seeing what this is. And she has since called Ash over to help warm up whatever this is to try and thaw it out.
Okay.
And Ash is just standing there, like, hesitantly holding his hands near it, like he's afraid it's going to spontaneously combust.
Yeah, Ash. Roll me a target number, and roll me an alchemy check, and we're going to see what you roll, and then we'll figure out if you have any chance of something bad happening. I don't want to spoil it. If there maybe is something explosive, you would know because it's a high TN. So we're gonna just roll.
Before Ash does
Thanks,
that,
I hate it.
seeing that Ash is nervous, Owen will run her finger across her forehead again, and that constellation, the silvery marks appear. And I'll activate the Rune of Fate. So it'll give you boost 1 on this.
So my initial roll was a 5, a 5, a 6, and a 2.
You are good. Eluin, you said you put this in a bucket so it wouldn't just be a puddle of water.
Yes.
In the bucket, you see a bucket. And in the second bucket, you see a bunch of, like, bolts. Like, tiny little things that you would, like, bolts and bearings, like that type of stuff. And various other, things you might use. Maybe there's a screwdriver or there's something in there. You're not really quite sure.
Huh.
There is some ancient text written around the bucket. I probably should have led with that part.
Ooh, I could definitely build something with these.
Who's up on their ancient languages?
What's an ancient language count as?
I've kind of...
So the fact that you're looking at me like that, Alwyn, means that no, I'm not.
I've read some things in a lot of different languages. Kind of had to piece together what they said, so I don't know. I don't know if I'll know this.
Is this familiar?
We'll take a look. It's...
Let me see. I'm gonna give you a chance.
That's all I need.
Make me that lore check.
This is probably gonna be a hard one, yeah?
I didn't tell you the target number yet, so yeah, it might be.
Okay. We might have to go to the library. 3, 2, 5, 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a target number 6.
That tracks.
Those are definitely very old letters on this bucket of bolts.
You might have to go to the library.
Oh, it's not a bad way to waste a day. Once it's dry, she'll grab some paper and a pencil and do a I forget what it's called. She'll color over it to get
The little charcoal
etching.
rub thing.
Yeah, charcoal rub. We'll get a rub of the letters so that they have kind of a copy of it.
You feel a slight heat over your shoulder. From the Everflame looking over. Oh, is this what writing is? I like that it uses charcoal.
I can. You don't happen to know what this says, do you?
She looks very seriously, intensely studies it. Nope, I have no idea.
It's worth a try. Library it is then.
Can you help me write a quick letter before you go to the library?
Yes, I can absolutely help you with that.
Oh, goody! Alright, yeah, that can just happen. Who all is gonna go to the library while I write you guys a quick message?
We could all go. Do y'all want to go?
Yeah, I would imagine all of us.
Probably, yeah.
The library is fun.
Gidget, what happened
It's
to your
cozy.
FOMO being left out?
Gidget, before we go, do you have anything we could bring as a gift for the library cat? Like a toy? I like to usually try to make something whenever I get the chance, but I don't have anything new on hand right now.
We can bring it some cheese.
That I'm sure a library cat would love cheese.
I don't have
Owen.
anything made right now for a cat.
Owen will kind of lean in from the hallway. There's a ball of yarn that a guest left here just before everything froze over. I think it's upstairs in the attic.
Awesome. Yeah, cool.
That's
I'll go get it.
perfect.
Speaking of cats, Magic, would you like to show yourself on camera? Come here, my little boy. He's right here, but he's not quite ready to.
Means nothing.
Yeah. I'll work on him.
Alright, to the library then.
This is in and out of character.
Has like the village, assuming we're going to the village library, have they like cleared the snow at all, or are we still penguin waddling in?
You want quite penguin waddling, but it is still quite a bit slower to walk than it usually is. There's like they like dug out a kind of path, but it has no the bits. Even though like the large piles aren't getting much larger, the small stuff is kind of still filling in.
Well, I mean, Sir Butters can try to supplement the clearing process as we go.
Okay, yeah. Adball, do you have any rituals when you get into the library? I feel like Adball might have routines when they enter the library. I just get that vibe.
Not necessarily anything routine about what Oddball does usually, but I think that they always make sure to pay homage to the library cat. And try to find where she is amongst the stacks. What kind of library ritual might I have?
I mean, I think searching for the
library cat is a good one.
Yeah.
I think perhaps okay. So the one other thing is that I think that I like to bring one of the books that I brought from the fairgrounds, and switch it for a book somewhere in the library while I'm there that I'll bring back and read. So that's one thing, and then the other is to find the library cat and present her with a gift and see how she's doing and get her wisdom.
All right. Yeah, you can 100% do that, and then meow.
Oh.
Perfect. Amazing. No notes.
Yoo-hoo.
Uh, Following the meow, you hear a little meow squeak and then pounce, and there is a little library cat. Did you didn't describe what color is the library cat?
I think that she's fluffy, but she's a little bit of a tabby kind of coloration. I have her in my picture with Oddball here. Just some like browns and blacks and some tabby markings.
And then in the cat's mouth is a tiny plush cat toy that the cat dropped, and then the plush starts jumping, meowing as well. Both of them are kind of at your like kind of towards your pockets. The cat might be sniffing a bit.
Hello to both of you. How are you doing? Don't be jealous, plushie, but I brought another toy. And I'll present the ball of yarn and the cheese from Gidget. Like Gidget brought this. This was Elwyn's idea.
Meow. The library cat goes and like cats bats at the yarn and then starts eating the little snack hums. And the plushie does sniffs, pretends to chew some of the cheese, and then walks away, tail up, sauntering away, looking very jealous.
So the library cat has an animated plushie that doesn't always like when I bring rival toys, but none of them are, alive, so they can't really compare. I guess I'm explaining to you, to the group, even though I don't know if they would already know this. They might already know this. I am new to town, so.
They definitely know this now.
Would you like some scritches? I will ask the library cat.
Meow, and it kind of goes to rub up against you, asking for scritches.
That's the sound of scritches. That's my Simon and Garfunkel cover.
And then it's going to start pulling the ball of yarn, trying to sneak off into whatever hidey hole it goes into, except it leaves a trail of yarn as it just unravels as it is pulled away.
We do actually have a question. I don't know if you can, if you could guide us, or if we should ask the librarian. We've got, some language we're trying to, translate here.
The cat looks up at you very curiously, very intensely. Meow.
Do I know what the cat's saying?
Does Admiral think it might understand what the cat is saying?
I think the way that Oddball assumes that the snake and Gidget can communicate, perhaps Oddball assumes that they have some degree of communication with the library cat. So I'm like, oh, you want to see it? Sure. Elwyn, do you have the paper? No idea if she's right. She's just guessing.
Just give it to the cat. Are you sure? I mean, I've seen weirder things, but sometimes cats are just cats.
Very wise.
I mean, Alwyn is clearly employed at the library, so it knows what it's doing.
Okay. She will pull out the paper and hold it up to the cat.
I have a question for Elrin. What has Elrin done that day?
What has Owen done that day? What time of the day is it? How late in the day is it?
I'm gonna say maybe a bit after lunch.
Mostly tidied up the B&B. Probably, well, Gidget's in charge of cooking, so did not cook, but probably helped like prep ingredients or something.
Perfect. Good enough for me. It grabs the paper with its mouth.
I will let go of it, I guess, assuming that maybe Oddball was right.
Zoom! It starts running away. If you anybody have pets and you ever seen them do a specific type of zoom where they think they got away with something that they shouldn't do, and yes, it does a guilty zoom.
A guilty zoom. I may have misjudged the situation.
I don't know. Sign? Maybe we follow the yarn and it'll lead us to the cat?
Have you gone into the walls here, Oddball?
Yes.
Everywhere in town has just built wall space for Oddball.
In a very short span of time. It was miraculous, really. But yeah, I would love to chase after the library cat. I think I probably also have the bucket of bolts. Just so, you know, at the very least, we've got a backup.
Okay. Is Oddball careful carrying the buckets of bolts?
I think I have been thus far.
Okay.
Because it is a prized, exciting thing.
Okay.
But maybe I'll set it down before running after the cat.
I mean, so you can follow the yarn.
This is like a game.
And then you hear, oh, hey, shh, they shouldn't. Back in my day, they didn't let any cats in the damn library. Damn kids and their emotional support library cats. What you got there, you feline? And then you hear kind of a grab, and then you see the cat scampers away.
Do I recognize this voice?
You do recognize this voice, Oddball. This is the grumpy, a grumpy little scholar named Art.
Oh, that's Art. That's fantastic. I love Art.
I think
Art will have the answers.
Nap.
Maybe, or maybe that he just kind of is like that a little bit. We should go find him. He'll have the answers for sure.
To at least get our rubbing back.
Yeah. Art, it's me. It's Oddball.
You just hear, "Oh fuck!"
That's his love language.
Is it?
You sure you're friends?
To be fair, I think we've all proven that friends come in different ways.
I don't know. I just know that he's like the coolest, smartest person and has all kinds of knowledge, and that's really cool. And so I've asked him a lot of questions. Is that friendship?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's just hope that Art doesn't try to eat us.
I mean, if he's hungry, I think I have some like snacks around here somewhere.
Yeah, I'll head back to where I heard his voice with the crew.
And there you see crumpled up. I'm gonna call him shriveled. He is a shriveled old man. His wrinkles have wrinkles on top of them. Large glasses, like this big of frames on his tiny little head. There's like 5 gray hairs left on his head. He's bundled up in a like sweater with a vest over it. Huddled over like 5 open books.
Isn't he awesome? Hi, Art. It's me, Oddball. Your protege?
Oddball is such a fucking odd name.
Yeah, it was descriptive.
Now, what do you need?
It's a good name.
Why? Who are these people? Why are you bothering me?
Hi, we're Oddball's friends.
Oh, fuck.
Like you.
Are you okay, Mr. Art?
I am fine, fucking tastic.
You need a cookie? I have a cookie.
That's gonna rot your teeth out of your mouth.
I have 2 cookies. Would you like one?
The real sweets, and he takes a hard candy.
Where there's originals.
And just pops it in his mouth.
I'm just like pulling out a little notebook and jotting down, cookies will rot teeth out. I didn't read any books on dentistry.
It just places a cookie on the counter just in case. If he wants hard candy, it'll get stale later.
Now, can I help you with something, or can I get back to my research?
What are you researching? I want to know what you're researching, but also I found a cool thing in the snow today when I was digging, and it has a cool language on it that nobody speaks. Do you know it?
He looks. Then he looks up. He takes from one of his, like, he has pockets under his sweater vest, and he takes out from underneath that another pair of glasses and like put them on their glasses for his glasses. And looks not at the paper. He looked at that already. He looks at you. Now, you are young and able-bodied. Ish.
Is that a question?
Half question, half statement. Back in my day, when elders, you kind of responded yes to rhetorical questions when elders stated them. It's a sign of respect. Kids these days.
I had no formal education. Yes.
Yeah, I can tell. Well, I can figure this out for you, but you have to do something for me. All of this, I've been talking to a old friend. He's a bit of a hermit, another scholar lives in the woods around town. We've been working on some really important magical research. But all this damn snow, I haven't been able to get he hasn't sent me his most recent manuscript. It's late. I hate when people are late.
Okay, yes.
So you want us to get the manuscript?
Yes, just be just for the caution, he can be a bit of a cranky bastard sometimes.
And he.
Everyone's a cranky sometimes. I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh.
I think this is
I-
exciting. You're telling me where to find another awesome, cool, smart person and get something that they wrote and go on a hike and with an adventure with my friends.
Just
There's nothing bad about this.
question though. I've done enough quests to know that cranky usually has the undertones of dangerous. Who
Yes.
exactly are we going to see?
His name is Elm. Elwin, make me a. I want to say lore check. This is kind of like local knowledge that I don't know if Oddball has been around long enough, but you've been here a bit longer.
Do I get any bonus dice because I've been here?
You get to make the check because you've been here.
Ah, okay.
Target number is gonna be 4.
Okay. That's a 5 and a 4, so I can spend a spoon.
Okay. Yeah. Elm isn't a man or a woman or a non-binary pal. Calling them a pal is gonna be a stretch. Elm is a giant tree monster that's a oaken sage.
Hmm. Do I know the general demeanor of Elm? Are they dangerous? Do they welcome visitors? What is the local knowledge around that?
They are condescending, covetous when it comes to knowledge, and pretty unpleasant to be around until you prove that you can't be bullied by them, essentially. Rumors say that he can also manipulate memories.
Hmm. It's not fun. If we go to see Elm, if we give your name, will that make the situation better or worse?
Yeah, he loves me. It will be fine.
It'll make it worse. Understood. We should be careful as we do this. Elm is not known to be the most pleasant person and is quite powerful from what I understand.
I still think it seems extremely cool. Wait, so Elm? Did you tell us the part where Elm is a tree monster, or did you keep that to yourself?
Elm is less a person like you or I, less a humanoid and more a sentient tree.
Awesome.
I'm sure it'll be fine then. He's probably all bark and no bite.
No, they like to bully people. Can possibly mess with memories. Some old magic. It's unclear what the extent of their power is.
Maybe there's a book in the library that will help with that.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
What's the research about, Art?
If you do this for me, I will actually sit down and explain it to you in ways you can understand.
Exciting. Okay,
No dancing in the library.
That's not a rule.
Well, it should be.
They literally have salsa nights on Thursdays.
This is why society is going down the toilet.
Wait, I thought salsa night was a cooking night.
Oh no, that's the Saturday night chips and salsa night.
Okay.
Yeah, you make your own salsa and.
I was wondering why there was a lot of dancing and I turned up with fresh tomatoes.
Oh. You know, I'm sure they really appreciated it. Dancing makes you hungry.
Well, the tomatoes were gone at the end of the night.
Sometimes you just gotta chomp into a nice tomato. I love tomatoes. I love just eating a tomato.
I will
Well-
be sure to pick more up.
Pitter-patter, get after this, okay? Stop wasting my time.
That's his love language too.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes. Forgot the yes.
Okay, so... Are you gonna do any research?
I think that might be fun. Maybe we can see what Elm's deal is, what their abilities are, what, for Elwyn's knightly purposes, what any weaknesses are that we can use to avoid being bullied.
He's just going to look for a cookbook on what trees can eat. If we're going to go visit new people, we gotta bring them a snack. It's only nice.
Love that.
If we're heading outside the city, I'll head back to the Spear's Point and grab my gear, at least.
Okay.
Alright.
I'll curl up with a book.
So, Elwyn, you are going back to grab gears and maybe anyone else's gear. Gidget, you are looking for what plants want to eat.
Oddball
Oddball.
is looking for info on Elm.
Ash, what are you doing?
Ash is trying to find research on how to protect oneself against memory manipulation.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I love that. All right. Elwyn, you go back. Oddball, target number. You're specifically looking for something about what plants eat?
Oh, that's
That's
Gidget
what
was
Gidget's
for
looking
that.
for.
Gidget, yes. Target number 3, lore check then.
Hey, with your new attribute increase.
That's a 3, a 5, and a 5.
Hey, you get to pass this without spending a spoon. Congratulations. Plants eat sun. They eat sunlight. Some of them, however, have various especially magical plants. Some of them are kind of have various mouth-like things and will eat whatever is put in the mouth that they can chomp on. Often dissolving it with acid, meaning they will eat anything given enough time.
If possible, Gidget would ask Owen to bring back some of the trail mix bars that Gidget made with sunflowers in them. That has
Oh.
sun in the word, so that should be close enough.
I will absolutely do that.
Thank you.
Oddball. Make me a target number. Let me actually get the rules of this game that I wrote correct. That would be embarrassing. Make me a target number 4 lore check.
Aye, aye, Captain. That's 1-4. That's a 1. That's another 1. And that's a 5. So that is 2 successes.
Okay. Do you spin the spoon then?
Yes, I would love to spend the spoon.
Now, given the amount of time it will take Elwin, I'm going to give you enough time to do this twice, if you would like
awesome.
to.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah. So this will give you 2 pieces of information.
Awesome. That one was a number of failures, but I am going to expend one of my fairy lanterns to boost a check I make. So the boost, would that mean I re-roll the
That
ones
means
that I
you
failed, or
Yeah, boost is 1 extra dice on the roll.
1 extra die? Okay. Do I have to decide that before I roll, though?
I don't care.
Okay. Because I also have the Phantom of the Future that could have been to grant retroactive fortune to an ally on a failed attempt, but it's not. That's an ally, not me.
I mean,
So-
do you consider yourself your own ally? That's up to you. That's
That's
semantics.
a great question. Oh, that's a loaded question.
I know it really gets into the character. What do they think about themselves?
I don't know. I think Oddball is not necessarily self-aware enough to be cripplingly self-conscious. I think she's like, yeah, I can do no wrong because I'm just doing what I feel.
So you could use either. Your choice.
And the Phantom of the Future that could have been, is that once per session or once per scene?
Let me check.
I want to say it's once per scene. Should have written that part down in the reaction section, so...
Oh, I should have also written that down. I'm going to say that's going to be once per session.
Then I'm gonna save that and just give myself a little boost. So I would like to save that for the spirit of what I feel like it's intended to help someone else out. Well, alright,
Alright.
and that second one is only 1 successful roll, which...
Can
you
I
spend this-
help?
I'm going to say you're busy finding out what plants eat.
Okay, because I was going to bring over the plant books.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to count that as helping. Extra
That's
dice.
cute. Oh, okay. Thanks, Gidget. And that's a 6, so that's 2 successes. So I still would need to spend 1 spoon, but not 2, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Gidget.
All right. I'm gonna give you a choice of what information you want. Do you want to, and you get to choose 2 of these. You can learn about its defense, its weaknesses and immunity, or learn an ability. Or you could choose to learn about 2 of its abilities.
I suppose I would like to learn its weaknesses. And 1 ability, let's say.
Okay. All right. So it's a tree. It is weak to fire.
That makes sense.
As for abilities, I think it's going to be fun to just post this in the chat and have our players read this, and then you can look at their facial reactions as they say, "Oh no, I don't like that."
Oh no, I don't like that.
Perfect. This is its opener ability that it will open combat with, the Mist of Morning Memories. Essentially, players are going to take a penalty to their lore score. It's going to be -2, and it recovers at a rate of 1 per round. And then they have to make a lore check. if they fail it, they forget one of their abilities for the rest of combat. They have to use an action to remember it.
Oh man.
Rip, your face was perfect. The literally jar dropped there.
I'm just so invested in knowing things. It's okay. I'll make it through somehow.
All right. Ash. Make me a target number 4 lore check.
That is a 6, a 6, and a 4.
Nice.
You are good. Just write down. You found some like. You found a book written by an ancient martial artist about unifying the mind and the body, and to resist mental effects. And like calm the soul by focusing on the strongest shape, a red triangle. It is a architecturally strong and resilient, hard to push and smash around without, unlike something like a square where you just push one in, it breaks. Triangle are strong and firm, and it just kind of takes you through a mantra that's going to give you 2 bonus dice to resisting this monster's abilities.
That's so rad.
Eluin, you return to the house, and there is mail.
You've got mail.
Can I tell from who? Is there a return address?
Well, it's not. It's addressed to Ash, and there is written in like sharp, in like kind of like crayon, and then like over that there's pen. It says urgent-ish.
Ash is awfully popular these days. I will grab that and bring it with the gear. It's definitely not mine to open.
I was curious. I feel like if someone, a few other people got that, they might have just opened it.
I wouldn't be a very good bed and breakfast proprietor if I just opened people's mail, now would I?
Yeah, what says comfort and coziness like mail fraud?
It's a very specific experience. Did you get a very specific bed and breakfast, but not this one?
A full service bread and breakfast.
Full service, including crime.
I
Right.
carry it back with the gear.
Perfect. And you guys meet up. And we are going to start hunt mode when we get back from break. Hello! Are we on the internet again? We are! Welcome back to Lost Caravan RPG. I am your cottage master for this evening for this cozy little game. Last we left off, our party was going to go find that old guy named Elm deep in the dark forest. The Misty Forest? We'll find out. The party did some research and is now going to start the hunt.
We are at least temporarily joined by Magic, the cat.
We're joined by 2 cats, I see.
Oh, yes.
She needed attention.
Well, naturally. Why were you not giving her attention earlier? Ash.
She was asleep on the heated blanket.
That's a good excuse. All right. So, you guys, you were told. I would say they were told. The art told you how to get to the dark forest. The forest and like directions to his good buddy Elm. So, as I mentioned last week, you guys are going to have to make checks as you trek out, and the target number is going to get harder and harder every time. So it is now a target number 4 muscle check to resist the cold.
Alright, so, considering we were ready for this, I knew what it was gonna be like this time. Oddball has been, I almost called myself Gidget this time. Oddball has been, crafting some little helpful tools, and so she has, crafted a little gadget that is, a little, like, body heater, a little, like, warming vest that, is operated by her, like, the natural motion of her walking, that, is part of my new ability of Gadget Maker, that is going to allow me, once per scene, to use my lore instead of another calm ability. So, since my muscle continues to be trash, I'm gonna use my lore to attempt to stay warm on the walk.
You have no idea how, for like several reasons why that is so amazing. Amazing. Yeah, you get to use, that was a amazing description, and you get to use that.
Alright, what was the target number again?
4.
4, okay.
And as I put up 5 on my fingers.
Still just 2 successes.
Oh, I'm just screwed.
I would have been. So I'll use the spoon to keep that going.
Instead of taking. Okay, that's good, because that's just losing 1 spoon instead of losing 2 spoons like Ash.
Oh, cool.
It is, you're alright, this is very cold.
I have 3 successes on that.
You are fine. Gidget, which is
5.
different from Gadget.
Yeah. 5, 4, 4, and a 2.
You are good. You pass. As you navigate through the forest, in addition to the snow, thick mist covers everything. I think the first sign of this is the snow the top layer of snow is pretty not flesh. That would be disgusting. Pretty fresh. It's glistening. That stops. This is that thick of mist. There's like light isn't getting through onto the snow on the ground. Can I have everyone lists me their lore score? So, Element is 2, Gidget is 3, Ash is 3, and then Oddball is 4. Perfect. Oddball, you are first then. We're gonna go from most likely to succeed to least likely to succeed. Oddball, please make me a target number 6 lore check.
All right, let's see what we can do. I think this might be the time to use my final fairy lantern. Well, nope. I'm gonna hold on to it because I did some research on what we might expect, and I think I'll need it then. But hopefully I can get something here. 3, 3, 1, 2. Ooh, that was a bad roll.
Okay. Wow.
Fails across the board.
Oddball, using as much as little restraint as possible, given what we have set up in our lines and vials, please describe Oddball's worst day, moment, whatever.
My worst moment. Oh. Ooh, I haven't. Usually I have like a well of character trauma, and for this character, they're just kind of a soft little bean. I think very quietly, like there's a very quiet kind of moment of lostness that Oddball has felt. Back at the fairgrounds. Which, you know, a lot of fun and games. Nobody really blames you if you commit arson. Everyone's a little oddball. But she originally came from an orphanage where some of the fairground commune kind of came around and just took a bunch of kids with them to get them out of one mismatched home for those who otherwise would have no family, to another kind of mismatched place where everyone's a little bit family, but nobody is exactly family. So I think there was just one day that she really kind of felt keenly that she didn't even belong here in this community of misfits. And I'm trying to think of exactly what that would have looked like. It wasn't so much that she was actively rejected, it's just that she one day reached out to see if she was special to anyone and kind of found that she wasn't. So just normally so like ebullient and finding joy in such simple things. One day that joy she found lacking and didn't find anyone to whom she could go.
So, within the mist rails and spins, and then this scene of a younger Adball going to people and kind of getting the slight rejection, but again and again to the same day, it is like pulled out of Adball's mind and projected so all of you can see it. This is going to deal 3 spoons of damage to you, Adball.
I'm getting a little sparse.
Now, who is my next victim? Gidget, it is your turn to make me that target number 6 lower check.
I mean, we know that's not going to happen. That's a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Reminder, if you want, you can spend the cozy coin.
Forgot the cozy coins.
But you don't
Yeah,
have
but sometimes we need to cause trauma to characters on purpose.
Listen, I just wish that I had taken the time to fill in some of the gaps in the backstory to, like, have a good, juicy moment for this.
And Alice, it is your time to torment Gidget.
Yeah. So Gidget comes from a really big family. They have like 5, 6 siblings, several cousins always running around. Like their grandmother made every single one of the kids like their own pajama set of a different animal just so the family members could tell them apart. Because again, there's so many kids running around. And it was a midsummer's festival in the town they grew up in. And Gidget by nature, especially growing up, really quiet little kid. Not really one to like make up a lot of fuss. More helping out grandmother in the kitchen, taking care of the animals on the farm. And just it they can't blame their parents, but it just kind of happened where they were wrangling so many kids and Gidget didn't want to be a bother. So somehow in the fray they just got left behind. They had gone out, I think, to probably like grab some eggs or something. And when they came back in, everyone was gone. And they said they felt so bad when they finally realized that they had left Gidget, but they never came back. They had a lot of kids to deal with. No one could really be spared to go and grab the one that was home alone and was responsible enough. So Gidget just was alone that day, well into the night even.
And this scene finishes playing out Gidget, you too lose 3 spoons, as then this kind of parts, and you see the path before you separates into 2 directions. The mist somewhat thinner at this point. Can someone make me a target number 4 alchemy check for basically it's trail finding, path finding even. This is not a Pathfinder game. To find what direction you need to continue on.
Is this
I would
like
love
is
to.
anyone or all of us?
Just one of you.
All right, then definitely Ash.
That is 4 fucking 6s.
Yeah, 666, a coziest number. Yeah, you after seeing 2 of your friends' most traumatic moments play out before your eyes, you kind of lead the way farther into the forest. How's everyone, both players and characters, feeling after that?
Like I still
They
just
are
am
great.
like, what should my memory have been? I'm still trying to think of something different. Yeah.
Conversation wise, do you think you guys, is it pretty quiet after that?
So I will say I think that is the point when Ash, who has definitely been a bit distracted, goes to Elwyn and says, I think I might have found something that'll help. I read this book and I think the guy was talking about like mind body connection, but I don't really get that because I do my best to not be in my body. So I don't really see how that would be a good thing, but the book says it is. And it said something about like you focus on a red triangle because that's like a sturdy shape and it can't be like crushed, it can't be crumpled, it'll just stand. And that might help when things are trying to do things like mess with your memories.
It's a good
I
find.
thought you might know what to do with that.
It might
'Cause I
be
don't.
something that could take training, but it's a good find. And she puts a hand on Ash's shoulder. Good job.
Thank you.
You should tell the others too. I think they'll
Thank
find
you.
it helpful. They at least need a distraction after whatever that was.
Yeah, I didn't like that. No. I'll tell them. And he does.
All right. Well, and so you guys are getting this information secondhand, so it gives Ash 2 bonus dice. You guys are only gonna get 1 bonus dice from it, but better late than never.
Can I also make sure to share the weaknesses and what we can expect from the morning mist, or what it was called, the morning mist of morning memories?
Yeah, 100. I mean, yes, you can. You guys got some time. You're continuing to travel down this little cozy road.
We'll also just nuzzle up to Gidget a little bit, like, Like, oh, we've both been lonely, kind of.
Gidget would just immediately hug Oddball and pick Roy up from where he's probably been trotting along through the snow. You probably need him just a little bit more than I do right now. He makes good tea. And Roy is probably like snorting along that little tea whistle noise and brewing up like a pot of tea. And to give it to Gidget, the brew of comfort will let you regain 3 spoons.
Oh, thank you, Roy, and thank you, Gidget. I guess I never realized that it bothered me that I have never belonged to anyone. Maybe something about Ash talking about family. I don't know. Feels a little bit like news to me that people normally do feel like they have someone that they belong to.
Family can be a lot. And
yeah, you have so much family. There's so many.
Yeah, I come from a really big family. And sometimes it's hard, and sometimes where you belong is not with family. But, Oddball, I think you belong just fine right here. You've been good. I think Elowen is going to make you Employee of the Month. But also, you fit in with us. As much as any of us fit in with us.
Thank you. And I could never leave you behind. Well, okay, I might run ahead to touch something shiny or to lick something, but I'd come back for you.
It's okay. It happens. So I try and make friends wherever I go.
You're
And
very
that's why
good at it.
I try. But also that's why I think sometimes people need friends more than they need to hurt other people. And I think a lot of the monsters we meet are just really lonely.
Well, hopefully this one will be a little less lonely and be willing to share their research with me. I still don't even know what it's about, but I don't know. It's going to be exciting no matter what, because it's like a secret. Thanks. Little snuggle, little nuzzle.
Yeah.
Continuing to travel down this road, the mists start getting thicker again, and thicker, and thicker, until they were as thick as they were when the last memory attacks happened. Ash, you feel like the mist, like, even though it's mist is just tiny particles in the air. You feel them, like you actually are feeling the mist, almost like claw-like tendrils pushing in and through your skull, trying to pull at your memories. Please make me a target number 6 lore check.
Would the bonus dice count here?
With Ash, when he starts feeling that, he starts thinking about the red triangle.
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Then no, they absolutely will not apply here. Then that's a personal choice, though.
If we know the effects of this,
Yep.
Now, would I be able to help by Gidget just grabbing Ash's hand?
You know what? Make me a charm check. Target number 2.
That is a 3, a 4, a 4, and a 6.
Yeah, take extra dice if you would like, Ash.
That is a 4, a 3, and 2 1s.
Yikes. Well, can I use the Phantom of the Future that. Well, no, you want to fail this because you want to share trauma. No, you can fail.
I was about to say, I think some of us, especially those who know JD, we've been waiting for this reveal.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on.
Ash, please describe your worst day as presented to your fellow little cozy monster hunters.
It's either exactly what you expect or it is nothing like what you expect, because what you might expect, given the bits and pieces that Ash has shared, is that you're going to see the moment that he lost control, the moment that the flames started to burn down so many of the buildings in the town that he grew up in. But that isn't his worst memory. His worst memory is what came after. When everyone gathered in a charred section of the town and voted on whether or not Ash would be allowed to stay. And you just see from his eyes him looking around, looking at the charred remains of buildings and land all around him. And then you see his eyes fall on 3 people who are actually standing closer to the back of the crowd, and you can recognize the family resemblance. It's different. Ash's father has dark hair, as does his mother, unlike the red hair that Ash now has. But the facial shape is similar, and even in his younger sister, Poppy, you can see the same sort of glint in her eyes that you've seen in Ash's. And you watch as both of his parents raise their hand as the vote is called, being the tiebreakers to the vote as to whether Ash will be exiled. And it's fine. Everything's fine. This is such a fine memory.
How does how does Ash react to this being pulled and presented?
He 100% goes straight to freeze. He is just like locked on, staring at it, not moving.
Oddball will take his other hand.
Please lose 3 spoons from the reliving of that trauma.
He does squeeze Oddball's hand, and he squeezes Gidget's hand as well, but it takes a bit to get him moving again.
Ash, do you want a hug?
I appreciate the question. Now isn't a good hug time, but maybe later. Rain check. Hug rain check.
We'll revisit it later when you feel like it. And Gidget just kind of squeezes his hand again. I don't know if Roy has any more tea right now. As unfortunately, that move does not come with a limit, so I'm not sure. But you can hold him if you like, or he can like sit in your pocket. He's warm, grounding.
Sorry, I probably should have saved the tea.
No, no.
We all need
you
tea every
needed
once
that,
in a while.
oddball. Yeah.
Elwyn,
Yeah. I'd like to hold Roy. Yeah.
Yeah, Gidget just kind of passes him over and still makes that little like whistling noise and snuffles into like your chest when you hold him. He's one of those pigs that like to be held like a baby. And with the free hand now, Gidget is going to go ahead and grab onto Alowin's. In preparation and the fact that this fog, we don't want to get lost in the fog.
no. Yeah,
Oh,
Elwyn,
and-
I'm sorry if you're next. It's gonna feel like something's
It's
being
gonna suck.
taken from you.
I've heard of this thing called trauma bonding. I think that's what we're going through right now.
Our stories define us. They shape us. They're written in our souls. They guide us into our future.
Yeah,
Each
but the bad
child.
parts. The bad parts don't have to define us. And even if you want them to, too bad because they're not you.
But how we handle them, how we grow from them, that's what's important.
Is there anything you would like us to do if it's bad for you?
No, it seems to be showing us our worst memories. I don't know that there is anything to do against that, except remember that they are just memories.
How do you do that?
Do what?
How do you remember that they're just memories?
By remembering what you fight for now, what you hold dear now, the
Like
distance
you.
that you've come.
Gidget, I think you kind of are taking that lead with holding a hand. Please make me a charm check.
Okay.
Target number 2, this is for helping a friend here.
6, 4, a 1, and a 3.
Okay. That would be a success, meaning a bonus dice. As this time, Alwyn, you feel. You mentioned stories. Well, that was very poetic because of how I was going to approach this. You do not feel it going through your skull, but you feel similarly tendrils, but thousands of them going through, tickling and then piercing through your tattoos, running up your nervous system, through the brain, trying to pull out your memories, your stories, both from the brain, but also through the magic that is inscribed in your body. Please make me, well, first, do you think of the red triangle, or do you just let it happen?
I think Elwyn knows that thinking of the triangle now would help. However, her companions, younger companions, have had to go through this, and she feels like it would be unfair if she didn't as well. So I think in a moment of solidarity, she does not.
Okay, make me target number 6 lore check.
It's fine. I'm sure a retired adventurer doesn't have any trauma or bad memories.
Gets the bonus at least.
That's either all like terrible or you actually pass.
Yeah, I rolled 3 dice. The highest I rolled was a 3.
Ooh.
Elwin, you are the last person to tell us a sad tale.
Yes.
What's his Elwin's trauma?
The fog around the party darkens, and the smell of ozone fills the air. Sharp, you can taste it. A frantic violin cuts through, punctuated by the sounds of a pitched battle. And in flashes of lightning, you see other figures around, fighting. At the center of this combat, tooth and claw, a dragon rearing back. Lightning again filling its mouth, suddenly above Elwyn. Lightning erupting forward, and a screech of a bow across violin strings. And a dancer very quickly moving in front of her, taking the lightning blow. As the electricity forks around her, missing her, she is standing there gripping white knuckle, her glaive, her other hand on her chest, on her rune of protection, the tattoo that shows this scene. Her eyes a bit wet, but jaw clenched. She's relived this moment hundreds of times. One of many friends that she lost through the years.
The memory fades, the mist fades, 3 spoons fade from Elwyn's spoons pool. And the path before you is clear.
I hope this doesn't hurt more than it helps, but I don't think it is just a memory. That's part of you, and that's important.
Like I said, her stories are always part of us. Some of us remember just in memories, some in other ways, and she'll put her hand to one of her tattoos. You've seen the names, I'm sure, in different fonts around the doorway of the Spear's Point.
Yes.
Those are ones I've lost. Tribute to the heroes I've fought with in the past. Most of them gone now. Curse of a long life, I'm afraid. But the way ahead of us seems clear. We should keep moving.
It is not long. I mean, moving forward, you see maybe a bit in the distance. There's a clearing and still covered in snow, but not too many mists. And you see it's a bit ahead. You have some time if you wish not to rush it. A very obvious monstrous tree. It has a giant gaping maw in the center of it, a large beard of moss.
This is him, right?
I believe so.
Hi, Mr. Elm.
Oh, damn, kids. Don't you see all this mist? Isn't this pretty obvious that this means don't bother me?
I'm sorry. My friend's friend, a librarian, he's a little grumpy. I think we woke him up from his nap too. He needs something that you're supposed to bring to him, and we were asked to bring it. And considering you're a little sleepy too, I can understand why you haven't brought it to him yet. Is there any way we could get that from you, please? And if you'd like, I brought snacks.
No, it's my knowledge.
You know,
Can we trade you knowledge?
Yes. Oh shoot, I did mean to bring books.
I highly doubt there's nothing that you know that I do not.
I mean, that's probably right. A lot of people don't think I have a lot to bring to the table, but my friend here, Oddball, is very smart and knows so much. And actually, everyone knows so much. Ash knows so much about magic, and Elowin is like the coolest adventurer ever. And I'm sure she has so many tales. And I think between the three of them, they can maybe give you something to let us borrow your knowledge, at least for Mr. Art to like do whatever he does. And if you'd like, we can even bring it back, and I can bring more snacks then too.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated by all that you know. I would love to just talk. I've never talked to a tree before. This is a great first for me.
Elwin and Ash, do you follow this up with anything?
Elwin, I think, stays quiet, allowing her friends to try this approach first, knowing that with creatures with a reputation like this one has, that it often comes to blows, but Gidget can be convincing. He wants to see this play out first.
Ash doesn't feel like he has as much to offer to this conversation as Gidget and Oddball, who have a unique way with words, both of them. He also doesn't want to see this come to violence. And so Oddball, when we were talking about weaknesses and things like that, and Elwyn was also sharing her experiences, we established that Elm would kind of lose interest in us if we could not be bullied.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what Ash does is step forward and say, we just want to talk. And also, we're not afraid of you. And then he lights up with fire.
Ooh, now, I was gonna originally say charm check, but this almost feels like, you're intimidating him with alchemy.
Hell yeah.
I would agree.
Can it still be a charm check if I offer snacks?
Oh, I'm gonna say Ash is taking the lead on this, but you can make a charm check to help.
Good cop, bad cop, weird cop.
So let's start with the charm check. Helping a friend is target number 2.
Well, that's a 6, a 5, a 3, and a 2.
Oh boy.
I get 4 of those puppies.
A 5, a 3, and yeah, +1 dice on the to somehow one guy offering snacks makes the other guy look a lot scarier.
They
Can
taste
I,
better toasted.
Can multiple people help or just one?
Multiple people can help.
I would like to help by lighting my glaive aflame. So touching again the phoenix-like tattoo that if you look closer is less a bird and more perhaps a metal person with wings set of flame flying
Sick.
through a floral swirl of fire. And again, like molten lava runs down her hand and onto the glaive and it lights a flame.
I'm thinking alchemy unless you want like muscle for like power badass pose.
Yes, that's what I would like, muscle. It's a difference between 4 and 1. I am going for intimidation to help us seem less helpless. That is 4 6s.
Holy shit! Take 2 bonus dice.
Just because I really want this to be a group effort, can I share some? Can I drop some knowledge to try to show that I have something to offer?
Very
tell
mixed
me
signals from this group.
Tell me your knowledge bomb, and then we'll see if it's good enough to have you roll.
All right. It's like, okay, so I don't know. I doubt that. I think you're right, probably, that you know more than me, but I might know different things than you. And as would all of them. Like, Elwyn's stories are in ink and pain. And Ash's are in soot and regret. Soot and guilt that they don't need to carry. Gidget's are fluffy and full of snacks and gentle and nurturing, despite the fact that she's the one that they are the one that could use some nurturing every now and then. And mine, a lot of what I've learned, I've just learned through books. But I guess what I'm learning now is that is not all there is. I mean, what I'm doing is I'm creating a book, and I'm trying to put together what can't be learned just from the pages alone. And I'll show the monster compendium that I have so far, and just the illustrations and the personal details about the Everflame that aren't just like weaknesses and resistances and damage. The illustration of Gidget wrestling with the Alpine Forget-Me-Not snake, of like likes to wrestle. Like, there is something personal behind every piece of knowledge, and I can't wait to see where more of these hold. And also, I found a really interesting bucket of bolts with the strange language on it that Art's trying to decode right now, and you could be in on that mystery if you just, like, chill and show us your manuscript.
It's a very cool bucket.
Not to tell you how to live your life, but I found it in the snow and I licked it and my tongue stuck to it. But I promise, like, I know things and I'm not just an idiot, but I do like to get information through every means necessary and all of my senses, because I'm very inquisitive and I will inquisit for things for you.
And with that, I'm asking you for a lore check. After you said you lick things with your tongue to figure them out.
After I said I lick things, yeah.
So I am gonna say, what is your layer? Is it a lower 4?
Yes.
I am gonna say I'm gonna use it to resist number because he's a smarty smart, so it's gonna be target number 6.
Okay, I did not make it.
You do have, I think, a fairy lantern, and you get 2 cozy coins.
Ooh, okay, yeah, the cozy coins. What does 1 cozy coin do in this case again?
Reroll every dice that did not meet or beat the target number.
That's all of them, so I'd say this is worth a cozy coin. So I'm gonna.
I think there is, especially since you have a decent lore.
Yeah. But I am only rolling really badly because those are still.
You get 2 cozy points.
Okay. Peer pressure. This is like.
Oh, and also if you expend your fairy lantern, you would get to roll it for each time you use a cozy coin too, because it would be like part of the extra pool. So just saying, I'm also peer pressuring you.
Yeah, okay, yeah, let's pull out all the stops. I'm gonna dig deep in my probable literal bag of books to share some specific insight, like a specific knowledge, show off like a journal that was left by this researcher who lived in a fun house at a carnival. So like unique knowledge. I'm gonna find the most unique bits of knowledge that aren't like widely known. The niche knowledge and see what I get. So I'm rolling with 5 dice now because I'm boosting myself and I'm cozy coining.
Yeah.
Okay. 5, 6. That's 1 6. That's only 1 6, but does that mean that I can still use 2 spoons to succeed?
You got this. Yeah.
All right. So I'll expend my spoons to provide a help.
Okay. So that's going to be an alchemy check, and that's going to be 1 spoon from Gidget, being all giving snacks. 1 spoon from Elwin, looking like a badass.
2.
1 spoon.
You gave us 2 from L1.
Oh, because of this super. Yeah.
Because it was a super success.
And then, so that's 1, 3, and then 1 extra spoon from Adball's knowledge bomb she's just dropped. So that's gonna be +4. Are you rolling 8 dice?
Yes, I am.
Souped up.
So I'm gonna say I think this is gonna be a super success only at like real. Let me know what you roll.
All right, I've got a 6, a 6, a 5, a 5, a 4, a 3, and a 1.
You didn't have to say half the numbers. You got to after the fourth number that was higher than the 5, I believe. Yeah. Well, mist starts to spread doubt over him, as if he was about to use his opener, and then it kind of rescinds and I'm sorry, I can get a bit uppity sometimes, especially with damn kids.
Yeah, you're
What?
probably lonely out here without a lot of company, and if there are people coming through just being mean, I can understand how that would make you cranky.
I have lots of company. Look at this. And he points around to other trees.
That's some good company.
Yeah. I'm sure
Is
they
this
have a
one a
lot of
sycamore?
stories to tell.
You wouldn't even know. Now, what was it that you needed?
Art said that you're working on a manuscript for some research that you two are doing together, a project.
Oh, yeah, let me. And he just turns around. He has, if you notice on the stream, he has like kind of spider-like root legs, and he kind of skitters down, and he has like this long kind of bearing hole, like it looks like some roots came out, and he like skitters down and comes back holding a decently sized book.
I have one additional request. Can I draw you in my book?
Oh, you're going to have to make a charm check.
Great. Can I use an ability instead? The ability of suggestion.
Holy shit! Yes, you can.
It is the lore. It's a lore check against the creature's resist to suggest an action. And I have to keep making lore checks to keep it going if it's in combat. But I guess this would be out of combat.
Yeah.
Can I make my lore check against the creature's resist?
Yes, you can. I'm gonna make. Yeah, it's the resist is gonna be 6.
Oh man, I don't think I'm gonna make this, and I'm out of lanterns. But we'll see. No, I did not make it. But if I can still use the Phantom of the Future that could have been on myself.
Have you used it? I mean,
No,
we
I haven't
already
used it.
we already said. Oddball is not self-aware enough to like overanalyze themselves. They are their own friend. Yes, you may use it.
Listen, the fact that she had trauma about not having any friends was news to her today, so. That's a 6. That's a 5. That's a 6. So 2 6s. So, is that a spend a spoon? Because it's.
That's a spin
spend
the
one
spoon, yeah.
Alright, I will spend a spoon to suggest, like, hey, would you let me, put you in my book? Can I, like, draw a
Fine.
picture of you? Maybe ask some questions? You'll be famous. People will know of your genius. Actually, very few. I don't know if people will know of your but we'll know. We'll appreciate your genius and your cool tree spider legs.
And I mean, maybe it takes enough time. We can just come and keep you company too while Oddball draws, or you can keep us company. We have a very nice inn.
Yeah, there's a pond in the backyard.
Start drawing, Fluff.
What drawing looks like.
You specifically said questions. I, Chris, the Cottage Master, am curious what questions.
Guess sort of things like, would it be rude to say how old to ask how old you are and like how long you've been living in this forest? How do you do your memory manipulation? Does that have like therapeutic potential? Have you ever thought about that?
700 years. To the face one. No kids today with therapy. Back in my days, we just battled it up and never analyzed ourselves.
How did that work for you?
Fantastic. Look how totally stable I am.
Yep,
You look very well.
I can see that.
Yeah, where do you learn your magic? Or is it just a part of you?
Study. It's a part of him. I'll tell you, Oddball, that you would be able to figure out that they are innate magic casters.
Cool. Yeah, I know. Like, when's your birthday? Do you want to have a party? Do you want us to throw a party? What's your favorite color?
Well, I don't know when my birthday is. I guess when when I'm dead, someone's gonna chat me open, and they'll be able to like count the rings and figure. They probably can figure it out based off of that, and then that's when we know. Then we will know when my birthday is.
We can say your birthday's tomorrow, and I can bake you a cake. Would you like a party?
I should say no, but you are being pretty convincing here.
Gidget has that effect.
I mean, that does sound better than getting cut open,
Yeah, I don't know my birthday, so.
That's surprising. You seem like the type of person who would make it like a birthday month and then like just end it as an excuse to celebrate. A lot.
You can celebrate every day if you want to.
Yeah,
There's
that's why
something
you
to
give.
celebrate.
That's why
doesn't
you
have to be
give
your
off the
birthday.
vibe. That's why you give off that vibe. My favorite color is khaki.
Cool. I don't think I've ever met anyone whose favorite color is khaki before. Fascinating. I write it down.
Every color is someone's favorite color.
Yeah. That's cool.
All right. I think Oddball probably. I think more likely one of the others might end up dragging Oddball away.
Yeah. I think I start like spiraling into asking like very specific academic questions about like what they're researching and like their passions and like what kind of study they do and if there are universities for trees.
There are not.
Distressing. That's okay. I don't know if school's helpful or not. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, you
But yeah, I think
guys.
I'm going. I'm gonna keep going till somebody is like, we gotta go now.
No one has said they done that yet, so I think that academic questions he acts extremely grumpy about, but he is like, you see a tiny glint in his eyes, just a bit, and then he gives very long-winded, pedantic, detailed explanations. Like if you ask like a sentence question, his answer is about 12 minutes of him talking.
This is when you see like that Oddball has her own like shorthand, so I'm like doing like the stenographer thing of like trying to like write notes like very rapid fire with like phonetic marking like notations. This is all very fascinating. I have a lot to think about. I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
You should. Sleep is good for the brain that you allegedly have.
Sir, I will take that under consideration. Can I come back sometimes and hear how the research is going when Gidget brings snacks?
I mean, we're having a party tomorrow.
That's true.
Don't be too annoying about him. Make sure you bring the good snacks. None of that hard candy shit. And that's okay.
Cookie?
Yeah. He's gonna open up his giant maw.
Gidget will toss it in like a frisbee.
Is it chocolate chip?
Yeah.
I saw your cookie was chocolate chip, but I was like, is a game cookie also chocolate chip?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Chomp chomp. Chocolate. That's exactly what plants love.
I mean, chocolate is a plant itself, so I wouldn't be surprised. Do you want a chocolate cake or another kind of cake? I might be able to make like a grass cake if that's what you're into. But at the same time,
Now, chocolate cake is basically the plant equivalent of you guys eating a steak.
okay.
Kind of lean over to Elwyn and say, "What's a steak?"
We need to get you out of the house more often.
I need to make dinner more often, I think.
But breakfast foods are so good. Well, thanks for all of the knowledge you've shared. That's so very generous of you. I will try to come back with little tidbits that I pick up. And also, I'm sure you meant this as like a bad thing, but in a way, thank you for showing us some of what does hurt us in our minds, so it's out there in the open and we can help carry it together.
He's gonna just kind of huff.
Therapy.
Yeah, do you guys return directly to art?
You.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's done by now.
I think Oddball probably wasted a few hours of questions, so.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
It's gonna be like dark by the time you get back.
It's a 24-hour library.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's winter. Dark doesn't mean much. Okay, return to the library, probably pets the library cat.
Yeah, oh, while I'm there, I want to see if I can find something that would make for a good cat toy on the way back. Like, maybe a particularly crooked stick, or like a crab apple or something, or a walnut that could be batted about.
Yeah, I think actually make me a alchemy check. This going to be for finding it, because it's actually heavy snow winter. That stuff is actually not super easy to
Yeah.
find. Everything you listed was like, wait, that might not be easy to find. So yeah, I'm gonna make it easy. Target number is gonna just be 3.
Okay, well, I got 2 3s. So, spoon correct? Like 1 spoon correct for that?
Correct.
Alright, then I am low on spoons, but high on knowledge and cat toys.
Seeing
then?
that oddball is struggling, Owen will step up and put a hand on her shoulder and touch a tattoo on her left forearm. It's like a woman with dark braided hair pulled over her shoulder in plate armor sitting on a throne of fire. And it kind of lights up, and that's my rune of healing.
Oh,
So you'll regain 2 spoons.
thank you, Elvin. Who's this?
Somebody I used to know. We parted ways a long time ago.
I'm guessing that's all the story I'm gonna get today.
It was not the most amicable of parting, but she always did her best to keep us healthy and hearty. I try to carry that a little bit forward.
I definitely see that in you. Both you and Gidget. Always there to restore.
I mean, that's all Roy. Speaking of,
Gidget,
hit it, Roy.
Gidget, don't do that. Don't discount what you bring.
I bring snacks.
You
And-
bring so much more than that.
You really do.
Well, anyways, yeah, and like Gidget like makes finger guns at Roy, and because everyone else is kind of looking a little tired too, and he just like starts like whistling like a little tune,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna activate my aura of healing, so everyone can just start getting spoons back every turn. However that lasts.
It
Wow.
lasts. That stuff lasts for a scene. Like that's so that you can just It's once per session, but basically it's designed to ramp you back up to full health.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Gidget and Roy. If this is on the walk back, can I have one quick aside with Ash?
Certainly.
I don't know if we're like trying to wrap up here like now-ish, but
No, we got some time.
okay. Yeah. Okay, so funny, before the whole trauma mist thing, I was still gonna try to have this conversation. So I'll just be like, I hope it's not overstepping to say, but even before we saw what we did in the mist, might not be in my place, but I'm kind of mad at your parents.
Why?
Oh, I guess I thought that the whole point of belonging to someone was that they belonged to you back. I don't know, because I don't really know what family is or what family is supposed to be. But I'm mad. I'm mad that they weren't on your side.
I mean, you saw what I did to our town, and they were just doing what they thought was right. They were trying to protect Poppy. They were trying to protect other people. There's nothing to be mad at them for. They were scared.
I'm sorry I'm mad at them.
No, you don't have to apologize for what you feel. And I wish I could feel mad at them sometimes. I wish it didn't just hurt that they decided I no longer did belong to them. I hate them for that, but I don't. But it means something that you do, that you feel mad. Because I can't.
Maybe what I'm more mad about is that you seem to be mad at you.
I mean, yes, I caused that. I did that. I was the one who lost control.
Well, I think it means a lot less what you do when you lose control as to what they did when they had control, which was to turn you away.
Ash looks taken aback by that. It is very clear he never thought of it in that way.
Plus, if you're in a situation
guess
that's out of
my-
control. Sorry.
I guess my parents just never really liked anything they couldn't control.
That is such a failure of imagination and bravery of them. Nothing is really in their control. They're gonna miss out. They already are missing out. They'd hate me.
I was thinking that. I was thinking that. I was more thinking that I also kind of wish you could meet them because they would not know what to make of you.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Because I think that you should get to have a relationship with your sister. Again, I still don't really get what's so special about, like, being assigned people that are supposed to be yours, but I feel like it's supposed to mean something.
I mean, I think it. I don't know. I mean, I think it can mean something. I see people who are very happy with the parents that they have, siblings that they have. And I also think about the fact that Elwyn has been more of a mom to me than my mom ever was.
Elwyn's so cool. Elwyn's so cool.
She's so cool. She's so fucking cool, oddball.
So pretty, and her tattoos are so neat, and she's so nice, but so scary. Oh, she's so cool.
Like, I want to be her when I grow up. I mean, I don't, because I don't want to fight, but, like, I also do, because she's awesome.
Yeah. We've got a cool family here.
Yeah, I think we can call it that.
Got a family.
And it wasn't assigned. We chose it.
I asked to live in the walls of it.
You sure do.
Maybe we should catch up to them.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I think that your abilities are fun and exciting and adventurous, and if ever there's a control problem, you know what you do with the problem? You find creative solutions, or you embrace it and make it worse, and maybe it'll be fun.
You know what, Oddball? Maybe one of these days I'll tell you the story of how I got these powers.
And just tease me with that. Ah, okay, we're gonna be friends forever because I have to absolutely know where that goes. I guess we should get back to the library.
As the two of them catch up, Elwyn will pull out the letter for Ash, hand it over. This was waiting for you. Not sure where it came from. It was just there.
It's so weird, I don't usually get this much mail.
Been quite popular.
Ash will open it.
It was sent to me, so I will send it to you.
Ash reads it, and then rereads it, and then looks to Elwyn and says, think we're going to need to set up a room for my sister, who's bringing her girlfriend,
Oh,
like, now.
we always have space. We'll get something set up.
We are doing such a good job at running a bed and breakfast, guys.
Most of our recent clients have not paid, but it is nice to offer them space at least, I guess.
We have
Were we
money? Money
supposed
is
to
a
have
thing?
like people paying us?
Oh, oops.
It's generally the point of a bed and breakfast, but my point specifically has always been to offer space to those who need it, so I can live off of the funds that I retired on for a while, so it's not too much of a concern.
Well, if we need to, we can
Maybe
like
we-
sell snake rides.
I was going to say a fundraiser. Yeah.
All possible actions. We should probably get that translation though if we're expecting guests.
Returning to the library then. Giving the cat the toy. Meow, meow, meow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wow.
My manuscript. Thank you. Finally.
You're welcome.
Now- Now, what was it you needed?
We were hoping that you might have a translation for the language on our bucket of bolts that I found.
It's old giraffe. Yeah.
Do I know what that language is? Do I know anything about that?
Up to you.
Probably not.
It's basic. So underground, there are these bears made out of ball bearings. This is basically like the Draven equivalent of the bucket that the engraving is from. Is basically the Draven equivalent of like a ceremonial like bear rug. And it's also a magic item.
Ooh.
In the new magic item document, it's the rust bucket item, but I'll just send our little group chat the description.
The things you find in the backyard when you simply burrow in the snow.
And you will see why I was laughing when you said the ability you had.
Oh, well. Maybe I shouldn't have taken that.
I mean, someone else could use it, or you could, if you equip, you also don't have to equip it, or if you do equip it, you could use it twice instead of.
Okay. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
work that
But-
out. Maybe we offline that.
But yeah, you guys with that, you will return to the cottage, and you've got exactly enough cozy points to level up to level 4.
Woo. Thank.
And with that, we're going to start wrapping up for this evening unless you have any last minute things you want to do in game.
I think Gidget would drag everyone into the pile of pillows next to the fire and make good on that rain check hug from Ash. And they get there's a point where Gidget would turn to Alwyn and I'm sure you probably hear this a lot. Maybe, but you're really brave, Alwyn. And I don't mean it like in a fight, because I know sometimes you have to fight things even though you really don't want to, and things can be dangerous even if you really try hard not to make them. But I think you're brave because you've lost so many people and you still somehow are still protecting people. That's the whole point of said the Inn and us. And I think despite it all, you've still, despite everything, a freaking dragon, you're also really kind. And I think that takes a lot to go through all of that and still be really kind. And I think it's brave that you haven't gotten hard and grumpy like the tree and Mr. Art. And I think they're old enough to have gone through a lot too, and not even half as much as you did.
My friend who you all saw in the mist today, Nillis, he and I were close. And he was often there for me when I doubted. I was known as the Spear back then, always sent to the front of the line to break it, to find a hole for us to fight through, whatever that looked like. But even then, I had doubts. He was the one who told me that the reason we do this, the point of all of this, is to create a better place for people, somewhere of safety and comfort. That's why I do this. That's why this bed and breakfast exists. That's why I've called it the Spear's Point. Everything I did was leading to here. Make a space for those who need it.
I don't think it was just leading to this, because you have to make the choice to be as good as you are. And you could have kept fighting and you didn't. And it takes a lot for that. And you also don't have to stay at the front anymore.
I've gotten a bit old to do that. My joints don't quite work as well as they used to. Adventuring is a young person's game.
Adventuring's a game for anyone who wants it to be a game. I don't. I am happy sitting here by the fire. And
it is nice, isn't it?
I love games.
But what I meant is you don't have to just kind of stand at the front of the line and protect people anymore. You can just stand right beside us.
I like that.
Been learning that you all can handle yourselves quite well. That's why I stood back today. Trusted you to handle that. You did admirably. I don't think I've seen negotiations like that since the last time I was at court.
You
I
were-
didn't negotiate
That's for
anything.
it.
I was just nice. That's sometimes all you need. It takes a lot. I know. And I'm sure it would have been a lot easier to fight him.
It's a talent that I have seen many spend their lives trying to hone. But you've mastered it through generosity and honesty. It's impressive.
I just do what I would want people to do for me. The tree, he was an old man alone. I'm not even sure the other trees talk. At least they didn't say anything. And I can imagine he's really lonely and he just doesn't want to admit it because he's old. I think he's really going to enjoy Audie coming and visiting him.
Okay, but just to note on one thing you said, it's not just anything. It's even if you don't think it's a skill that you are the way you are, it is a beautiful, beautiful instinct, and it is a gift that you are constantly given. I don't know. I feel like you've always been very welcoming to me. And to everyone. And I like it, because you are able to talk to people and beings that gives me an in to talk to them and learn things about them. Otherwise, sometimes I don't talk so good. So.
Yeah, my first instinct is to fight because that's what I know. But it's nice to see you able to take the lead and find other roads. I've seen kingdoms rise and fall over stupid arguments. It's refreshing to see it used for good.
I said I don't think it's a big deal.
Gidget, all I want is for you to one day be able to hear what we're all saying to you. It might not seem like a lot, but things would be very different here without you. Your absence, were it ever to happen, would mean something.
Yeah, that you guys wouldn't be able to feed yourselves.
That's true for me. I mean,
Gidget,
that's
no. Gidget,
true.
no.
I am going to make hot chocolate. Does anybody else want any?
Absolutely.
I will always take hot chocolate, but also we need to make dinner. And apparently, Oddball, you've never had a steak. We've got to fix that. I also have to make a cake for a treat.
Steak and
It's going to
cake.
be a big cake.
Steak and cake and shake.
Well then, it sounds like someone might eventually be going to get some stuff from a baker or something. But till then, we are going to wrap up. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to my amazing fucking cast for letting me throw the characters in trauma and still handling it in a cozy cottagecore way. So much talent in this little stream. Amazing. And then, yes, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you to my cast once again. If you like what we do, you can join our Discord at the button in the description. It is where we post our monthly casting calls, schedules, and where we just generally hang out and be giant nerds. We'd love for you to come hang out and roll some dice. Once more, I'm gonna go around and give everyone a chance to tell who they are, what they do, and where they can be found. Let's start with Anna. You are up first.
That is me. Hello, I am Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny most places on the internet. I'm a queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG performer, producer, and podcaster. Find me on Twitter at Archival Dust Bun and everywhere else, including Instagram and Blue Sky at Archival Dust Bunny. I'm going to keep it short tonight. Tomorrow night, you can find us over on Classical Liza's channel with the return of our Monster Care Squad game. If you enjoy the cozy vibes, come and see us be monster vets. We're about to heal the Snasher, which is a spider covered in eyes. It's been quite the adventure trying to figure out what is wrong with this monster. It's a great time to jump in. Every other Saturday, you can find us here on Lost Caravan with Fatal Ascension, our fabulous Ultimate campaign, where I play Cadence, the Time Assassin, who is exactly what it says on the label. She messes with time and stabs stuff. It's a lot of fun. Very glass cannon. I go down a lot, but I do a lot of damage and really annoy Hoop. It's so much fun. And of course, if you like magical girls and queer stories and stories about grief and how it affects you and those around you and finding hope again after devastating defeat, devastating loss, you should listen to Bloom and Blight, A Girl by Moonlight actual play podcast. You can find us anywhere you normally get your podcast, and on all social media at Bloom and Blight. And of course, you can check out our website, bloomandblight.com, for character information, cast information, transcripts for episodes, and a link to our community Discord, which is always so much fun to be in, especially around episode release. Speaking of which, part 2 and part 3 of our holiday special, GM'd by the amazing Black Girl Mage, Lexi, will be dropping tomorrow. I am definitely not going to do some final editing on it right after the stream.
Amazing.
But those both parts 2 and 3 will be up tomorrow. It was a very fun session. If you enjoyed part 1, you're going to enjoy the rest of it so much. And if you haven't listened yet, it's a great place to jump in and then go back and listen to the rest of the story. Yeah, that's all I'm going to mention tonight. If you want to see any of the other projects I have coming up, including some more Dareful Archives podcasts coming up this year, give me a follow on social media and jump into the Dareful Archives Discord server.
All right. Alice, you are next on my screen.
Hey guys, I am Alice, and I have been playing Gidget tonight. You can find me pretty much everywhere online at Alice Hart, or if the adult film star has stolen that username from me, then Hellion Hart, which is where I'm at on Twitter. Let's see, next coming up on Friday, I am starting a mini series over on Nerds with Dice. It's Apocalypse Keys. I am going to be playing a Fallen. That's going to be going on for a few Fridays. Next week I'll be here. Otherwise, my January is just a little bit slower, and that's okay. But if I do happen to turn up anywhere last minute, you can find that on my social media. And as always, you can reliably find me on the Actual Play podcast. Welcome to Reddington. It's a Monster of the Week podcast where I am a producer, editor, and player. And that's about it.
Amazing. We're going to, you know what? I usually end with either Anna or Trip, so we're going to spice it up. Trip, you're going next.
No, oh geez, okay. Hi, I'm Trip, Sarah Trip Sport Out. I exist allegedly. I have been an oddball, always. And, you can find me here next week. And on January 28th, I'm doing a Pathfinder one-shot with James Not Jim Jam. And we'll be reversing the deal here of being trauma and backstory light and just be real fucking sad and really intense and violent. So, yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a fun time. And yeah, did I miss anything? I'm a game writer in California. And I got a lot of cats.
All right. That means JD, you are up.
All right, I'm gonna try to be quick. I have slightly less things than usual, but also slightly more things than I feel like I have in a while. I am JD. I can be found on the internet at JD.JasonDean. Next time you will see me is tomorrow with Live from the Apocalypse in Never Ember's Enigma, our heist game that is also a dating sim. It is an experience. My character's play is going up. We're going to see how opening night goes. I'm sure it's going to be fine. It is a 7-act fantasy comedy of Hamlet. So
Oh,
I'm
God.
sure nothing bad will happen, and I'm sure it will go smoothly. There's pyrotechnics. It's great. Following that, I will be back here next Wednesday, and next Thursday, over on Live from the Apocalypse, I will be running Redacted, our psychological horror game. I will also be with Class Reunion the following Tuesday, which is our D&D homebrew, where 4 high school students got lost in a fantasy world and have reconnected 10 years later. In the midst of all of that, if you ever want, if you like queer superheroes and absolute human disasters and lots of angst and romance and drama and comedy, you can check out Academy H, our Masks Actual Play podcast, which just updated Monday, and we will have another episode, probably not this week because the crew's at MagFest, but following that, at some point, another episode will be out. It is an incredible production. I love all of the people in it. And if you want to hear me cry on audio multiple times, it happens. It's fine. And then last but not least, I will be with Sword and Key starting on Sunday, the 28th for Deathmatch Island, which I know Lost Caravan has been enjoying quite a bit lately. I will be starting by playing a professional wrestler. I have 3 other backup characters because we are doing a 4-part series, and I am very likely to fall into a volcano. It's going to be a good time. And I think that's it. Anything else you can find on my Twitter.
I've been diving into Academy H as of like 2 days ago, and I'm like 4 episodes in, and I'm falling in love with all of them in a friend way. Rapidly, just very rapidly.
No, there's some great talents here who does some really cool shit, and I'm so happy that I was able to manage to trick people to let me play with them. Amazing. Well, thank you. Thank you. I am Chris Pellick. You can find me on the Twitter at cottagecore_RPG, and then elsewhere at Cottages and Cerberus. That's Cottage and without the ampersand. I am the game designer of this litter system we played. If you liked what you saw, and missed the Kickstarter, and sometime this week or next week or the week after that, as soon as the bank stuff get verified, we are going to be launching the backer kits, which also will be where we can do pre-orders. Till then, I have a few projects that I'll be able to announce anywhere between a week and like 5 months from now. So just follow me on the Instagram during the Cottages and Cerberus Discord, that type of stuff, if you want to hear the latest news. Till then, till next week, thank you all for joining us. And then stay cozy, y'all. Bye.